recently ran with a fellow coach is how the fear of getting hurt or the fear of rejection actually stops us finding love and stops us putting ourselves out there. And this can kind of manifest itself in numerous ways, such as avoiding dating completely by saying you are too busy at work, or it's never the priority, or you fill your social life to the brim, almost as a kind of unconscious avoidance technique. Or it could even look like dating people who you know aren't right from the beginning, because whilst you might get your ego bruised or kind of get a little bit hurt in the long run, it protects you from that kind of deeper potential hurt and that deeper level love. And I think that the fear of getting hurt and the fear of ending back up in the same place but worse off is one of the biggest blocks we are ever going to come across when it comes to love. So what I want to say first of all is, if this is your pattern and if this is how you feel, you're not alone. It is so common, and it's something I see time and time again with clients, and it's something that I see time and time again within my community and also with friends. And also, it used to be me. I used to be the biggest avoider known to mankind. So whilst there is nothing we can do that is going to stop us feeling vulnerable, or potentially stop us getting hurt, or potentially stop us feeling a little bit rejected, or we all have those days where we don't feel good enough and things like that. I think there's no kind of amount of work or hiding away or anything you can do that is going to stop those feelings completely. But what you can do is learn the tools and the techniques and the strategies to make sure you know that you will be okay at the end of the day, regardless of what has happened. And you can learn the tools and the techniques to make sure you're still really strong in your foundation, how you're feeling about yourself and your self-confidence. So what I want to do today is talk you through 5 steps you can take to either get you over the fear of rejection, or fear of getting hurt, fear of being vulnerable, whatever you want to call it, or indeed, if you are in a stage where you have just come out of something and you are feeling like you want to shut down, you want to close yourself off, these are strategies that are going to work for you as well. Okay, so number 1 is all about our belief system. We need to find out what our limiting beliefs are and get to the bottom of what really scares you about rejection and about getting hurt. Is it actually that you're scared people won't stay? Could it be that kind of deep-rooted fear of abandonment that so many of us have? And that was definitely the case with me. Is it that we're scared we're not enough? That we don't trust? I want you to dig deep in this, do a little bit of journaling, do some exercises, and really write down kind of everything you're frightened of when it comes to love and relationships, and why. So that is going to be the biggest tool you can do, because a lot of the time we will automatically look outside. We will blame the other person. We will say, well, I'm feeling hurt because they didn't reply to my message, or they ghosted me, or they did this, that and the other. But we forget to look in and figure out actually what's going on with us, which leads me on to the second point, which is the second thing we need to do is reframe these limiting beliefs and rewrite the story we're telling ourselves. Because rejection doesn't necessarily hurt because of the action that somebody's done. So if somebody, let's take an example, if somebody doesn't reply to my text, okay, or let's say somebody just stops replying, ghosts me, we've maybe been on one date, or we haven't even met, that action in itself is quite neutral. Simply, they haven't replied to a text message. That's it. Okay, it could stop there. But what we do is we attach what they've done and make it about our self-worth. So we attach a story to their action. So it becomes, they didn't reply to my text because I'm not good enough, because it's never going to happen for me, so I might as well be alone forever, because I'm too tall, fat, thin, short, whatever it is that's coming to mind. We attach the meaning to it. So really what we need to do is the mindset work on reframing the beliefs that you've done in part 1 and starting to implement new and more helpful thoughts and more helpful meanings. And we can do that with, kind of looking at all the other reasons why they can, might not text you back, and just actually getting really objective and really clear and actually choosing not to go down that rabbit hole. Number 3, I think when we're talking about the fear of getting hurt, the fear of rejection, and to be honest, the fear of risk, right? Because that's what it is. You take any chance in love, in business, in moving countries, whatever it is, there's always going to be a risk involved. So number 3 is all about understanding the risk. And I'm not going to sit here and say, if you make the decision to open up, it's going to be rainbows and fairies and, you're going to feel great all the time, because that's not my guarantee to give. And it's not about pretending that there isn't a risk, because there always is a little bit. So instead, I want you to understand it. I want you to do the pros and the cons. I want you to ask yourself what you could lose, what you could gain. But most importantly, I want you to ask yourself, if you didn't do anything about your situation now, where would you be in 5 years' time? And would you be happy with your situation in 5 years' time? So it's about being honest, doing the exploring, and figuring out what is your right path. Number 4. This is probably one of the hardest things to do, and something that I do work on a lot with clients, but it is letting go of the past. So often we hold on to people and we hold on to situations as a little bit of a protection barrier. So this could mean, we're holding on to an ex and saying that we're never going to meet anybody as good as them, because it actually stops us going there again. Or we hold on to the fact that we've been hurt or ghosted in the past, and we use that as a bit of a barrier. When you say, well, what's the point, it's not going to work out anyway, because that's our past experience, and we drag it all in and we carry it around with us, and it means that shapes our kind of lens and our whole experience, and it really stops us putting ourselves out there, and it stops us taking that next step. So we need to work on being able to let go of what is blocking you, and understanding that your past doesn't have to inform your present. So the mindset work and kind of the reframing of limiting beliefs in sort of step 1 and step 2 will really, really help with this. But actually it is about you doing some kind of deep work on looking at what is blocking you and looking at what you need to let go of. Look at what you still feel like you're dragging around, and what you're kind of allowing into your life. Number 5, and the final one. So this is all about supporting your new beliefs and your new behaviors and your new actions, okay? So I want you to start collecting evidence of all the times you've been accepted, you've been loved, somebody's been nice to you, and it's been okay to trust. And the reason for that is, as humans, we have something called confirmation bias. So we're always looking for evidence to support our beliefs. So because we've worked on reframing the beliefs in step 1 and step 2, now it is really about collecting evidence to support that new belief. So start going around, looking in your day-to-day life, writing everything down, and then take little action steps, little things you can do to step outside your comfort zone. It could be something as simple as asking a friend to go for dinner, or telling a friend you don't want to go to a certain restaurant and actually you'd rather do this. Putting yourself out there, opening up, being honest. It could be something as big as giving your number to somebody or smiling at somebody on the street. Tiny little action steps, so you can start to have new experiences from a new lens and collect the evidence that it is okay, that you feel all right, and all the good things that come of it. And if it hasn't worked out, that's okay. You're still here, you're still strong. It's all about that learning experience. So yeah, we basically need a new book of evidence for new beliefs. So to recap really quickly, we've got number 1, find out what your limiting beliefs are and get to the bottom of what scares you about rejection. Number 2, reframe the beliefs and rewrite the stories. You're no longer attaching the narrative that you're not good enough to actions of other people. Number 3, actually get really clear on what the risk is. What is going to benefit you in the long run? Number 4, learn to let go of the past, so we're not constantly being informed by what has already happened and using that to make decisions. A simple question is, if I've never been hurt, how would I act now? And number 5, collect all the evidence of why it is okay to open up or to trust, or the times that you have been supported and loved, and take new little action steps. That is going to build more evidence. So that's it from me. I hope this was helpful for you, as I know it is such a huge topic and it is quite a sometimes vague and a bit ambiguous thing to talk about. So any questions, please just let me know, and please rate, subscribe, like, share, whatever it is, so I can keep creating free content for you. If you would like to find out any more information, please head to my website, www.thecompatibilitycoach.co.uk, or Instagram, which is the.compatibility.coach. And I will speak to you all soon.